going to see combined fraction operations. So we'll be doing the four basic operations that we learned in the last classes: multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So this will be like a summary of all made in the same operations. The first important part that we need to see is the order of the operations. We need to have an order because there is a hierarchy on the operations. Normally it says in English to look at this word PEMDAS. That means first we are going to do all that it's on parentheses. Then we are going to do exponents or powers is the same. Then we are going to do multiplication and division. These two are in the same level. So we can make first multiplications or then divisions, or first divisions and then multiplications. And in the end, we will do this level, that is addition and subtraction. So this is very important. We always need to look at the order of the operation. This is the order. Don't forget the order of the operations. So let's see some of the examples. Remember also for the last classes, in multiplication and division, we don't need to have the same denominator. We can have different denominators, but in addition and subtraction, we need to have the same denominator. So we will need to use the least common denominator in order to add or subtract fractions. So let's see now some example of combined operations. So if we see this type of operations where we have a multiplication and an addition, remember we need to look at the order of operation. So first I will do this part, the multiplication, because multiplication has a bigger order than addition. So first we need to multiply this. Remember, we can use number decomposition to do it more simple. So we can eliminate these two with these two. So we will get 10 thirds, and we will add 1/5 to those 10 thirds. The next part will be to look for the common denominator between 3 and 5. In this case, the two of them are prime numbers, so we can like multiply them, and we will get 15 as a common denominator. So we will need to transform these fractions to 15ths. In this case, 3, it's multiplied by 5. So 10 is also multiplied by 5. So we will have 50 over 15. Here 5, it's multiplied by 3. So 1 is multiplied by 3. We will get this. I will copy the operation here. 50 15ths plus 3 15ths. We will get then 53 over 15, or 53 15ths. The next part is to look if the fraction is simplifiable. So let's see. In this case, we cannot simplify this fraction, so this will be our final answer. We will do many exercises today because it can get a little tricky when we have many different operations. So let's go with the next one. So let's see, in this second exercise we have a parenthesis. So remember, parenthesis is the first part of the first operations that we will be doing. So in this case, first I will do the addition and then the division. So for doing the addition, we need to look for the common denominator between 4 and 5. That will give us 20. So we need to change these fractions to 20s. So let's see. For changing these fractions to 20s, we need 5. It's multiplied by 4. So 2 is also multiplied by 4. We will get 8 over 20. 4 is multiplied by 5. So 3 gets also multiplied by 5. We will get 15 over 20. So let's put it here more clearly. 8 over 20 plus 15 over 20 divided 3 over 2. So we can do the addition. We could get 23 over 20 divided by 3 over 2. Remember, we can do a little trick when we have a division of fractions. We can flip the second one, so we can get a multiplication. We can write this as a multiplication like this one. So remember, we can always decompose these numbers. 23, it's a prime, so we cannot decompose it, but 20, it's 2 by 2 by 5 multiplied by 2 over 3. So we can eliminate these 2 with these 2. So as a result, we will get, remember, multiplications is numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. We will get then 23 over 30. Then we will need to do or look if the fraction is simplifiable. In this case, 23, it's a prime number, so it's not simplifiable. So this will be our final answer. So in this exercise, we have a division and a subtraction. Remember, division it's more complex, so it's first in the operation. So first we need to do the division. Remember, if we have a whole number, that means it's divided by 1. So we can change this or flip this to make a multiplication. We will have 3 over 1 multiplied by 5 over 2 minus 7 halves. Then we will be getting 15 over 2 minus 7 over 2. That will be 8 over 2, because we have a common denominator. We don't need to look for the LCD because we have it. Then 8 divided by 2, it's only 4 wholes, or 4 as an integer. So this will be the process of doing this type of exercise. Let's see other examples. So let's see the next one. In this one, we have 2 parentheses. So first we need to do what's inside the parentheses, and then we will do the multiplication of both results. So first we need to do maybe this one or this parenthesis. You decide which one to make first. We will start with the one in the left. In this case, we need to look for the common denominator. In this case will be 10. We can do it mentally. So in this case, 5, it's multiplied by 2. So 4 can be also multiplied by 2. We will get 8 over 10. 2 gets multiplied by 5. Then 7, it's also multiplied by 5. The other parentheses, we need to look for the common denominator. We can do it also mentally. In this case, 12. So we will get 4 times 3. It's 12. So 7 times 3 is 21. 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. So 2 multiplied by 4 it's 8. So we can copy this one. 8 over 10 minus 35 over 10, this multiplied by 21 over 12 minus 8 over 12. Then we can do the operations. In this case, we will get negative because 35 is bigger than 8. So we will get 27 over 10 multiplied by, in this case, 28 minus 8 is 13 over 12. So in this case, we can first decompose the numbers to see if we can like simplify something. In this case, we will have on the top part, it will be 3 times 3 times 3. In the bottom will be 5 times 2 multiplied by 13, that it's a prime number, be 2 by 2 by 3. So we can eliminate 1 3 with 1 3. So we will get 13 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 over 5 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. So we will get 40, and we will get 39 times 3. That will be 117 over 40. This we know that, this we know that it's not divisible by any type because we made the simplification before multiplying, but we have one negative multiplied by one positive, we will get negative answer 117 over 40. This will be our final answer. Let's see other example. So what happens if we have a mixed numbers? Don't worry, we can change it to improper fractions and then do the simple stuff that we have been doing on the last exercise. So in this case, we need to transform them into improper fractions. Remember, we need to multiply it and then add the superior part. We will get then 16 over 3 multiplied by 7 times 2, it's 14, plus 1, it will be 15 over 7 minus 5 times 3, it's 15, plus 2, we will get 17 fifths. So let's see. Because of order of the operation, first we are going to do the multiplication, then the subtraction. In this case, we can decompose numbers. 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 over 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 3 over 7. So we can eliminate this 3 with this 3. So in the top part we will have 16 multiplied by 5. So 16 multiplied by 5, that will be 80. So we will get 80 on the top part. In the bottom part we will have a 7 minus 17 fifths. We need to look for the least common denominator. We have two prime numbers, 7 and 5, so The least common denominator will be the multiplication of the both 35. So we need to transform this to 35s. 35. So 5 times 7, it's 35. So we need to multiply 17 by 7. We get 119. And in the other one, 7 times 5, it's 35. So 80 times 5 is 400. So I will copy this exercise. 400 over 35 minus 119 over 35. We will get then 281 over 35. Then we need to look if the fraction is simplifiable. In this case, it's not a simplifiable fraction, so this will be our final answer, 281 over 35. So as we saw, with mixed numbers, it's the same. We only need to add a first step that transform those mixed numbers into improper fractions, then look for the order of the operations and do the math. Let's see some other example. So let's see this example. Remember, we don't need to always start from left to right. Remember, we need to look for the order of operations. In this case, we need to start with the division and then do the subtraction. So in this case, remember, we can transform a division into a multiplication. So we will have 9/5 minus 15 halves multiplied by 4 over 5. Remember, we can decompose numbers, so 9 over 5 minus 3 times 5 over 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 divided by 5. So we can eliminate these 2's, we can eliminate this 5, so we will get 9 over 5 or 9/5 minus 3 times 2, it's 6 over 1 because we eliminate all the bottom part or all the denominator. So then we need to transform this to 5s or to 5ths to do the subtraction. So 1 gets multiplied by 5, so the 6 is also multiplied by 5. I'm sorry, gets multiplied by 5, so we will get 30. So in this case, the negative number is bigger than the positive number, so we will get a negative answer. We will be in the same, it will be fifths, because we remember in addition and subtraction we do not change denominators, so we will get 21 minus 21 over 5 or minus 21/5. This is not simplifiable because 21 is 7 times 3. 5 it's a prime number, so this will be our final answer, minus 21/5. Let's see some other example. If we have only additions and subtractions, we can do them also. We need to find the least common denominator between all of the operations because addition and subtraction are on the same level, so are done at the same time. So in this case, we need to look for the least common denominator between 3, 5, and 2. All of them are prime numbers, so we can multiply them, and we will get 30 as a least common denominator. So let's transform our fractions to 30s. So let's see. 3 gets multiplied by 10. So 5 it's also multiplied by 10. We will get 50 over 30. 5 is multiplied by 6. So 8 is also multiplied by 6. So we will get 48 over 30. 2 it's multiplied by 15 to get 30. So 1 it's also multiplied by 15. We will get 15. So let's put it in. I will copy it to have it in a better view. So let's see. In this case, what happens is because it's an addition and a subtraction, the result will have the same denominator. To know if the result is going to be positive or negative, we need to look at the numbers. In this case, the positive ones are 50 and 15. That will give us 65 positive, and we will have 48 negative. The bigger it's the positive one, so our answer will be positive. In this case, 65 minus 48 will be 17. So our answer will be positive 17 over 30. This will be our final answer in this specific exercise. I will do another exercise of only addition and subtraction because sometimes it can get a little tricky because of the addition and the subtraction. But remember, if the positive numbers are bigger than the negative, then the answer will be positive. If the negative numbers are bigger than the positive ones, the answer will be negative. Let's see then another example. So let's see, in this case, we have four terms, added and subtract. We can do in a single operation because we can look for the least common denominator between the four. In this case, 6, 2, 4, and 12. We can do the prime decomposition. In this case, 2, we will get 1. We finish this one. 3 and 6. Then 2, we'll finish this one. Then 3, we will finish this. We saw like the least common denominator. It's 12. So we need to transform them all to 12s. The last one has 12 already, so we can left it like it is. Then 6 times 2 is 12. Then 7 times 2 is 14. Then 2 multiplied by 6 is 12. So 3 is also multiplied by 6. It's 18. 4 is multiplied by 3. We will get 12. Then 5 is also multiplied by 3. We will get 15. So let's see. I will copy these ones. 14 over 12 minus 18 over 12 plus 15 over 12 minus 17 over 12. So remember, we need to look at the positive and negative numbers. In this case, positive, it's 14 and 15. That will be 29. Then the negative ones will be 18 and 17. So if we add 18 and 17, we will get minus 35. So in this case, our result will be negative 6. So we will get, of this addition and subtraction, we will get negative. Remember, our answer is 12. We will get 6 12. Remember, we need to look if the fraction is simplifiable. In this case, of course, it's simplifiable because it can get divided by 6. So our final answer will be negative 1 over 2, or 1/2. And that will be our final answer. So we can do addition and subtraction with 3, 4 to the n terms. So we can do it with any type of any quantity of terms. it's the same process, looking for the least common denominators, then see the positive ones, the negative ones, if the answer is positive or negative, and then at the end simplify our answer. So this will be one of the trickiest maybe to do it, but it's not very difficult. So we can do it always with the any quantity of terms that we have. Let's see another example, not of these ones, maybe of the last ones, with multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. So let's see this last exercise. We have division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Remember, we need to look at the order of operations. We start with parentheses, then we will do the multiplication and division. So in the first parenthesis, we need to transform this to fourths or quarters. We can do it by mind. So 2 times 2, it's 4. So it will be 10 over 4. This gets or doesn't move because has quarters already. In the next one, we need to transform them into 6. So this one doesn't move. The other one, it's multiplied by 2, so 2 6 multiplied by 7 10. This one doesn't move. It will be tens. It's also multiplied by 2, so it will be 4 over 10. So let's see, we will get here 7 quarters divided by minus, because the negative is bigger, minus 3/6 multiplied by 11 tenths. So let's see, we can simplify 3/6, so we can put this as 7 fourths or quarters divided by minus 1/2 multiplied by 11 over 10. Remember, we can do the little trick of flipping this one. So we can have 7 quarters multiplied by minus 2 over 1 multiplied by 11 over 10. Remember, when we have multiplication, we can multiply always the numerators and the denominators. So let's see, we will get a negative answer because positive multiplied by negative is negative, multiplied by positive is negative. So our final answer will be negative. In this case, in the bottom part, we can always decompose first. So let's see, we can decompose this 4 on 2 multiplied by 2, so we can eliminate these 2 with these 2, and we will get then in the top part minus 77, that it's 11 times 7. In the bottom part, 2 times 10, it's 20. So our final answer will be minus 77 over 20. And this will be our final and simplified answer of this specific exercise. So you are now able to do this type of operation. So let's go to the activity of combined fraction operations.